Neuroscientists at the HeartMath Institute made a discovery, and it's something ancient rishis knew all along. There's a measurable electromagnetic field around your heart, and it actually shifts when you enter a specific brain state. They call this heart-brain coherence. And there's a simple 3-minute breathing technique that can activate it on command. This is the real science behind manifestation, and it's also the reason why it fails for most people. Here's the issue. Your manifestation practice isn't working because you're trying to manifest from the wrong brain state. Think about what usually happens. You sit down, close your eyes, you try to visualize what you want, but your brain is running at 14 to 40 hertz. Those are beta brain waves. It's the frequency of analytical thinking, of planning, and of worrying. And when you're in beta, your prefrontal cortex is in charge. Logic and reason. It's the part of your brain that says, this isn't realistic, right in the middle of your visualization. But here's the truth. Manifestation doesn't happen in beta. The research is very clear on this. It happens when your brain operates between 7 and 8 hertz, that alpha-theta border state. And in that state, something measurable changes. Your heart's electromagnetic field becomes coherent. Your nervous system calms down, shifting into what's called parasympathetic dominance. And this is the key. The gap between your intention and physical reality becomes permeable. Ancient practitioners didn't have EEG machines to measure this, but they knew. They knew that certain breathing patterns created a state where, as they said, prayer becomes answered. A state where visualization felt real in the body, not just imagined in the mind. So, what's the problem? Well, you can't force your brain into alpha-theta. You can't think your way there. That's like trying to fall asleep by concentrating harder. The harder you try, the more awake you feel. It just activates more beta waves. But there is a back door, and it's been hiding in plain sight for 5,000 years. You need to understand why most manifestation techniques actually keep you stuck in the wrong frequency. The HeartMath Institute spent 30 years measuring something most scientists dismissed as pseudoscience. They put sensors on people's hearts and brains at the same time, and what they discovered was stunning. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that's 5,000 times stronger than the field produced by your brain. Let that sink in. 5,000 times stronger. And that field? It extends 8 to 10 feet around your body. But here's the crucial part. When your heart rhythm becomes coherent, that powerful field, it synchronizes with your brain waves. The researchers call this heart-brain coherence. And it only happens in very specific states. You're seeing actual HeartMath data. This is the heart rhythm pattern of someone in coherence versus someone in stress. See how the coherent pattern is smooth, almost like a perfect sine wave? That's the signature. And it corresponds directly with those alpha-theta brainwaves, right at 7 to 8 hertz. This is where it gets interesting. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research team measured this during manifestation meditation. Subjects who reported the strongest felt sense of their desire already being real. Their brains were locked into alpha-theta. Subjects who said it felt like pretending or trying hard, stuck in beta, 14 to 20 hertz. The difference wasn't their visualization skill. It was their brain state when they visualized. And the fastest way to shift brain states? Vagus nerve activation through extended exhale breathing. When you lengthen your exhale, you trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and your brain naturally downshifts from beta into alpha-theta. This is why breathing exercises for manifestation work when standard visualization doesn't. You're not just imagining differently. You're changing the electromagnetic environment where thoughts form. Remember that cellular autophagy breath we covered yesterday? Same vagus nerve pathway, different application. That protocol cleaned your cells during sleep. This protocol opens what ancient practitioners called the manifestation field, what neuroscientists measure as coherent heart-brain coupling. Sanskrit texts called this Brahma Muhurta Pranayama, the breath that connects individual consciousness to universal consciousness. They didn't use terms like alpha-theta brainwaves or heart-brain coherence. They said this breath dissolves the boundary between desire and manifestation. Yogis who practiced this technique reported that intentions set during this state manifested with unusual speed and precision. Not magic, not wishful thinking. They had tapped into a reproducible protocol, one that modern neuroscience can now measure. What they called aligning with cosmic frequency, we now understand as nervous system regulation that shifts brain waves into the optimal state for subconscious mind reprogramming. Same mechanism, different language. And tonight, you get access to both, the ancient protocol and the modern understanding of exactly why it works. Here's the exact 3-minute breathing pattern. I'm breaking this into 3 phases so you can execute it perfectly. Phase 1, grounding, 30 seconds. Sit comfortably, spine straight, but not rigid. You can do this in a chair or cross-legged on the floor. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your heart center, the space in the middle of your chest. Don't force anything. Just rest your awareness there. Notice whatever sensations are present. Warmth, pressure, openness, tightness. No judgment, just awareness. This 30 seconds establishes your baseline. You're telling your nervous system, we're shifting states now. Phase 2, the manifestation breath pattern, 2 minutes. Now we activate heart-brain coherence through a specific ratio. This is critical. The pattern creates the effect. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel cool air filling your lungs. Your belly expands. Your rib cage opens. Gentle and controlled. Hold gently for 2 counts. 1, 2. Just a brief pause, no strain. Your body suspended in stillness. Exhale through your nose for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This extended exhale is the key. Feel your belly draw in, your shoulders drop, tension releasing with each count. This is where vagus nerve activation happens. This is where your brain begins to shift. The ratio matters. 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out. This specific pattern has been tested in HeartMath labs. It produces the strongest coherence signature. Don't speed up. Don't slow down. Find your natural rhythm, around 1 second per count. Repeat this cycle for 2 minutes. That's approximately 10 complete cycles. And here's what's happening in your body that you can't see. Your heart rhythm is becoming coherent. Your brain waves are dropping from beta into alpha theta. The electromagnetic field around your heart is synchronizing. You might notice your body temperature change. You might feel a tingling in your hands or chest. You might feel suddenly calm or slightly euphoric. These are signs the shift is happening. Phase 3, manifestation activation, 30 seconds. After your final breath cycle, maintain your awareness at your heart center. Now, bring to mind what you want to manifest, but don't visualize it like a movie. Feel it, as if it's already real. If it's abundance, feel the security, the freedom, the gratitude. If it's a relationship, feel the connection, the warmth, the presence. If it's health, feel the vitality, the strength, the ease in your body. This isn't pretending. You've shifted your brain into the state where feeling and reality blur. Stay here for 30 seconds. Let the feeling saturate your nervous system. Then, open your eyes. The protocol is complete. Do this at the same time every day. Morning is ideal because your brain naturally exits sleep in alpha. But evening works too. Consistency trains your nervous system to drop into coherence faster. The magic isn't in the first session, it's in the repetition. Day 1, you're learning the pattern. Day 7, you'll drop into coherence in 60 seconds. Day 30, your baseline state begins to shift. And here's the element most people miss. Your belief during the practice matters. Not because the universe responds to belief, but because belief activates specific neural pathways. When you practice with conviction, you're strengthening the prefrontal cortex activation patterns associated with goal achievement. Neuroscientists call this mental rehearsal. Ancient practitioners called it faith. Same mechanism. Let me give you a realistic timeline, based on what practitioners report and what research suggests. Days 1 to 3, you'll notice the immediate physiological response. Deeper calm, slower heart rate. Some people report feeling slightly altered afterward. That's alpha theta. You're learning what coherence feels like in your body. Week 1, the felt sense during visualization becomes stronger. It stops feeling like imagination and starts feeling like memory. That shift is significant. It means your brain is processing the visualization as if it's real experience. Weeks 2 to 4, this is where synchronicities begin. Unexpected opportunities, conversations that lead somewhere, resources appearing. Most people dismiss these as coincidence, but research on heart-brain coherence suggests that coherent electromagnetic fields may influence probability in measurable ways. Month 2 and beyond, your baseline state shifts. You'll notice you're calmer in stressful situations. Decision-making becomes clearer, and manifestation stops feeling like work. It becomes a natural extension of your nervous system state. About law of attraction breathing techniques. They work, not because they manipulate external reality, but because they optimize your internal state. When you're in parasympathetic dominance, with coherent heart-brain coupling, you notice opportunities you would have missed in stress mode. You make decisions aligned with your goals instead of reactive decisions. You communicate more effectively. This isn't magic. It's nervous system regulation, creating behavioral changes that produce measurable outcomes. The ancient rishis were right. Modern neuroscience just gave us the brain scans to prove why they were right. So here's what you do tonight. 3 minutes. Find a quiet space. Follow the protocol, exactly as I outlined. Feel what happens in your body when you shift states. Then notice, over the next 24 hours, what changes. Not just externally, but internally. How you respond to situations. What opportunities you notice. What decisions feel obvious that would have felt unclear before. Here's something interesting about that vagus nerve pathway you just activated. It doesn't just control heart-brain coherence. It also controls your body's pain response. Tomorrow, I'm revealing a 60-second protocol that uses this same neural pathway to eliminate migraines without medication. Same mechanism, different application. But that's tomorrow. Tonight, practice this. After you do the protocol, come back and comment what you noticed. Not for me, for the person reading comments, trying to decide if this is real. Your experience helps them believe it's possible. Start tonight, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.